All right, questions for Coach?
Hey, Coach.
Hey, Dave.
Christy, she didn't shoot the ball that well early on, but as the game went on, especially the front quarter, that shots in the overtime. But throughout the game, I mean, just how important was her in terms of just her presence on the floor as an additional ball handler, as a playmaker? It seems like she's still kind of made an impact even though her shot isn't falling.
Yeah, no, she's vital, to our success. Like you said, her ball handling, her playmaking ability, her composure, her mental toughness, right? To be able to, to see and will that ball in the basket when her team needed it most. She embodies a lot of the qualities that that Kobe was about, and she models a lot of her work ethic, the time that she puts into preparing herself to play every night around that mentality. And, her ability to make that shot at that time, considering how the game had gone for her individually, it says a lot about how tough she is and gritty she is. And I think part of like which we have to continue to figure out, it's like her commitment to what we're trying to do defensively. If, anybody that's followed her career and followed her time here, like maybe didn't think of her as a great defender. She's committed to what we're trying to do. And for good offensive players, it's hard to be great on both ends. Like it takes special players to be able to do that. So we need her, even if she's not making the shots, to still have that confidence and, almost kind of like arrogance that I'm going to make the next one. That rubs off on other teammates because they struggle too at times, and they need to be able to see that you have to be able to push through those moments. So happy for KT that she was able to extend this game and get us in overtime.
So, can you speak to the resiliency on the 13 show tonight? Going down, falling down there in the third, getting this overtime, and when it in overtime, can you see how proud you are of the team tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to put into words, Pat. We just talked about it a little bit. I mean, considering this group really hasn't been together very much at all, whether it's due to the injuries this year or just the fact that we've turned our roster over from what it has been over the last few years. And I think some of the disappointments in the first half of the season and, fighting to the end, but not quite breaking through, those were good lessons for us to grow and become stronger as a team. And, tonight, if this team, I think, didn't still believe in what we can become in the third quarter, when they kind of knocked us around a little bit and it was 49-39, they could have packed it in and just said it was too hard to do it tonight. But they kept playing and kept fighting for one another. And, we can build on that. And that's definitely, something just as a coaching staff, very proud of their effort in that regard.
I guess some of the passes about matchup, what happened on the play?
Yeah, I mean, she got hit in the face again, which seems to happen often with her. She plays at a different speed and a lower center of gravity than some of the players that cover her, and she gets knocked around a lot. And I still don't understand it. I just don't. 37 minutes tonight, overtime game, 2 free throws. And so, she plays through it. That's what she has to do. But, we have to find a way to just make sure that, she's being treated the way that a player of her caliber deserves to be treated. And when we watch the men's game, we don't consistently see former MVPs and all-stars and Olympians going to the free throw line 2 times. They play 40 minutes on a regular basis. We just don't. So it shouldn't be different over here. Yeah, Nia's fine. I think it just like she got hit in the face on the play. So then it took her focus away from, controlling the way she was going to the ground. And I think she kind of landed weird and it kind of freaked her out more than like what actually had happened. And once she realized like, okay, I'm fine. Medical checked her out at halftime, made sure everything was structurally fine, no issues. And so I'm sure she'll be sore tomorrow from just the bumps and bruises, but she'll be fine.
Thank you, Coach. Speaking on a lot regarding that fall. Do you see any change happening with that? Or is it a certain better?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think the only way it changes is, you just have to like perform through it, to be honest. I think when, and she speaks better than all of us. It's, when she speaks about feeling undervalued and not respected, I think that's an extension of that. And so, in her experience, the only way that she knows how is to keep forging ahead, not dwelling on it too much, not letting it take her out of, who she is, still being authentic NECA. So then she can still go out and almost get a triple double, even though she's not getting the respect that she deserves. And so we just have to keep playing. Like it's my job to bring attention to some of these things, but I'm not trying to get into a war with how many free throws we're supposed to get compared to somebody else or whatever. It's part of sports. And we just have to figure out a way to keep playing through it and trust that, things will work out the way they're supposed to.
Coach, I described Mecca's performance as a masterclass in perseverance on Twitter. A near triple-double, 13 points, 9 assists, 9 rebounds. What's your reaction?
I mean, I guess I'll retweet when I get to my phone. I agree. That's just who she is, though, to be honest. Like it's unfortunate that, sometimes with great players, there's kind of like a fatigue to their performance, right? It's, sometimes when we look back, like, damn, we thought he should have won MVP more than just once, right? And people just get kind of accustomed to them being great. And I think that NECA kind of suffers from that at times. She's so consistent and so efficient, no matter what is going on. It's like we just expect it to happen. And so, that's why the direction that we're choosing to go starts with her. That type of character, that type of integrity, that type of ability to persevere through the most challenging and most difficult situations, not give up on yourself, not give up on your team. That's what we want to be made of.
And all of this happened in her second game back.
Yeah, which again, I think it just speaks to her commitment to, being the best version of herself that she can possibly be, in terms of taking care of her body, resting, training, showing up early, staying late, taking it very, very serious that like, she's an elite level WNBA basketball player and that's what she does. And that's the only way you can be as consistent as she is. We all obviously held our breath there for a few minutes. But hopefully as we continue to try to squeeze out every win that we can over this next, 11 ball games, she'll be right out there with us.
Hey, Coach, it's become a pattern season for Erica Wheeler, when you guys saw him down in the fourth quarter. I'm curious, what is it that changes for her down the stretch? What do you guys do different for her at the end of games?
Holding her accountable that's what she's supposed to be doing. She can't get off the hook any other way. She can't look at me for excuses. That's why, we wanted her to come here. That's why she accepted the responsibility being on this stage and playing for this organization. That's what you got to do. You know, her life story is coming through when it counts the most, no matter what you've been through. So in reality, that's who she is. So that's why she'll get a pass from me. It's like, I'm not gonna feel sorry for you. Stop showing frustration. Keep your body language up and positive, because this team, they need you to look a certain way. So, you know, this is a new environment and culture for her. Like, so she's learning how to lead, you know, in this situation compared to where she's been before. And so she's going through it right in front of everybody. But, you know, I'm glad she's as tough as she is, because, you know, she comes through for us when we need her the most.
We'll take one more with Coach from the Zoom. Go to Chris Camella.
Hey, Coach, heck of a win tonight. You know, Christy and Erica were struggling to make shots there, and you made obviously a reference to Kobe. To be honest, though, with what those two did in the fourth, kind of reminded me of what you did for years with the Lakers and other teams. So do you kind of see that embodiment of who you were as a player in addition to Kobe from both Christy and Erica? Lights are brightest, so to speak.
Yeah, no, I think, you know, the reason why I was, you know, I think fortunate enough to be Kobe's teammate for as long as I was, because if he didn't want it to be that way, it wouldn't have been that way. Is because, you know, like what we had most in common was definitely not talent, but just like a willingness to do everything humanly possible to win. Like that just meant everything. So, you know, when I see players, you know, just able to figure out how to help their team win, like that's what I love to see. Like, and you know, stats tell one story, you know, analytics tell one story. As media representative, you tell one story. The game itself, as it plays out, is another version. Like, but at the end of the day, when people leave this building tonight, like the Sparks won, nobody's gonna remember who was 4 for 15, who was 2 for 7, who was like, doesn't matter. When you put on the championship ring, don't say your field goal percentage on there. Doesn't say your steals per game, doesn't say how efficient you are, your true shooting percentage. It says world champions. And so, you know, I think as players, like if you can kind of hold on to that in those moments, like you kind of can find a way to break through. But if you're so locked into your own individual experience, it usually doesn't work out. Like you're trying too hard, you're stressing out, there's tension in your shoulders, you look frustrated, like it just doesn't feel good. So I think for both players, like what allowed them to kind of break through was like staying connected to like, let's just help the Sparks win tonight, regardless of how my game is going. And, you know, hopefully we can maintain that kind of mentality.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
It's awfully quiet.
Other questions for Christy?
We have touched on America. You told us earlier today, that sort of the season where the shots will start coming through, start taking shots. What gives you the confidence that you're going to start taking shots?
Sweat equity. You know, just putting in the work for years. You know, I know it's coming. You know, my teammates were great, staying positive for me, telling me to continue to shoot my shot. And so I did. And certainly when it was in, you know, a big moment in the game's on the line, that's always my favorite time. So I'm glad I was able to deliver.
You just talk about Swedish approach to allowing that. They play like that ultimately.
Yeah, no, Fish does a great job of just instilling confidence in everyone. We spread it out and share the ball, and he wants us to make plays. He trusts all of us, and certainly in that moment, when I got the outlet, I just wanted to get to my spot, and that spot was the elbow, and I felt Kobe in me, like get to that spot, get to that elbow, shoot your shot. And I did, and it felt really good to finally, see one go in a big moment. But that all starts from Fish and just how he instills that confidence in us every single day. Super positive. It doesn't matter if you go 1 for 99, shoot it. So he's great. He's been great with me, for me, and for all of us.
So, Chris, obviously, you've got some more work to do before you get to the point. But for a team that hasn't had too much more court time, due to injuries, how big is a role like that?
No, this is a great one because it was a gritty one. It wasn't pretty at all. We talked at halftime of the adjustments we needed to make, and the biggest one was just our competitive spirit. That it just wasn't really there all the way in the first half. But we came out, we were resilient, and I said, in the locker room at the end of the game, this was a character game, and we were able to show that high character and that spirit and that togetherness and that grit, and that's who we are. And so we're going to continue to take it one game at a time. But this was a great game for us. It's great to be in close games. It's great to be in overtime games, just to have that experience, especially for such a young team and a team that's been assembled and we are still getting to know one another. I love these kind of wins.
Christy, Johnny Davis with one side. I didn't play in the game and I'm tired. How do you feel playing 38 minutes and 40 seconds out of a 45-minute game?
It's what I want. It's what I want. It's what we're built for. Just got to lift in. The work is, there's always more work to be done. In games like that, when you're super competitive, you don't get tired. That's a weakness. That's a mindset. And we all push through the fatigue, and there wasn't fatigue. There was just spirit and energy. The crowd helped with that. Our bench helped with that in those moments. That's what it's about. We were determined to win the basketball game.
What does it affect you in the first half? Obviously, you're happy to get it back, but her role.
Yeah, I wasn't overly concerned because I know how tough she is. We knew where she was going to come back if she could, and obviously we're glad that she was able to come back in the game. But that's just her toughness, and when it happened, all we said was next man up. That's our mentality. This team has gone through a lot of adversity this season, and then we will continue to do that. But it's all about staying together, staying resilient, no matter what the circumstance.
Last one for Christy. We'll go to the Zoom to Chris Camello.
Hey, Christy, a fantastic game, heck of a shot. In a game where things aren't going your way, how is it really even for someone like yourself who's been in the league a long time, seen it all, highs, lows, what have you? Does it test you mentally? And do you have to have, so to speak, that Mamba mentality in order to have the mental strength and obviously physical strength to make a shot like that?
Absolutely. And I don't want to go away from that shot because it was what it was, but it was a team effort. It was a team overall resilience, and I'll say that word over and over and over again because that's what it is. We were able to just stay locked in, stay focused. We had the right mentality, and that was don't quit, win the basketball game by any means necessary. And we were able to do that and reveal who we are as a team. And I'm just so proud of everyone.
Thanks, Christy.
You got it. I'm missing my little ratio. All right, focus.
All right, questions for Eric and Brittany.
Hey there, this is actually for both of you. 29 assists tonight. 6 players in double figures. We've been talking all season about when that offense kind of finally starts to sync up a little bit. Just what did you guys see out there? With the offense, and what can you take from that? Carry over to the next game.
Well, I think we moved the ball better second half, and that's what coaches just been saying, like move the ball, make the defense move. And I think we're just making right decisions. And people just haven't seen the full squad together. It's the second game, and we really just trying to get to know each other. And I think we gelling well. I think we really dig deep the second quarter and just locked in and just really wanted the game more. I think that's what it came down to, and then just moving the ball.
Right, I agree with you. And like she said, coach, actually in the last game we played, we had what, like 17 or 18 assists?
Yeah.
And he said that we have to make it a thing for us as our identity to have 20 plus.
Yeah.
So I was shocked, man. I was like, oh, we got 27? All right, we can talk to Fish about that. So, but yeah, that was one thing that he instilled in us. And it's just going out there and what he's given us, we just going out there and reproducing. It felt good, it felt easy, it felt light in those tight situations, especially in that fourth quarter, but we were diming each other because we were just going, giving what the defense gave us, we ran with it and we scored.
And trust.
Yeah.
I think we trust each other. We put the ball in any of the five that was out on the court, and we trust that they'll make the right decision.
Thanks for both of y'all. Eric, we just mentioned this being the second game. Appreciate that. After 4 years. Looking to the playoffs, I believe it's a game like this, like you see, trying to understand.
We got a game on Thursday. That's the game we're worrying about. We're not moving forward, thinking about anything down the line. We're not worrying about outside noise. One game at a time. We got Atlanta on Thursday, and that's it.
Second it.
And so many Johnny Davis inside. How much different will Thursday's game be? Being that you just played them on Tuesday. You've already experienced this early in the season. How much different is that second game?
I mean, we talked about it in the locker room afterwards, and we know it's going to be a dogfight. Credit to Atlanta because they push the buttons of your discipline. They push the buttons of your defense, of your offense. They're so, everywhere. They scramble, and that causes turnovers. And for us to hold our composure and just stay with Sparks basketball, that's going to help us in the second game we play them on Thursday. So as long as we just lock in the third and fourth quarter we had, bring that first and second and continue it in the third and fourth, and we should have a good battle. It's going to be a battle.
I think what she said was important was discipline, because they have you all over the place and frustrate you. But I just think that we just need to stay disciplined. They're going to watch film. We're going to watch film. They're going to see how they attack us. We're going to see how we attack them. That's just the nature of the game. And it's just about wanting more too.
Thank you.
Erica, it's been a pattern for you this season where you really seem to turn around for a quarter, the team puts the ball in their hands, they're able to take it home. What is it that happens to you beyond special things? What do you see from her?
You want to answer first?
Nah, you got it.
I'm one of the leaders, and I know my team trusts me. And Fish does this thing when he look at me and make his eyes big, and like I know that he's like, okay, like turn it up. But LT is good with stats, and she always remind me that you're number one in clutch points. So the team knows that they trust me to put the ball in my hand and make clutch shots. I feel comfortable being there because I know my team is behind me. I do like pressure, so I'm cool with being in a pressure situation. So it's really just locking in and knocking down whatever shots that come to me in clutch times.
That's my PG. And I'm sticking beside her. No, but seriously, man, I mean, just from being an opponent against her and having to guard her to now being a teammate with her, it's a blessing, to be the point guard that she is. And she finds those gaps, she finds those passes, she finds her shot, so we trust her. It hasn't been a moment where we going, I don't know if we want you to have the ball, like it was like, all right, get her the ball and let's go set something up. Like even when we in transition, sometimes I'd be like, we got to break away, but I'm like, nah, E, where you at? And I'm looking for it, so we trust her. She gives us that confidence and we give, it's reciprocated.
Eric, you said that Susan was talking about how he don't feel sorry for you, he was the person who wants you to be better and stuff like that. Cases how does that feel like when we get more contracts?
Well, he knows that I'm better under pressure. He knows that I'm better when I have to face adversity. He knows that I'm gonna figure it out. I have my moments where I'm frustrated, but I don't stay in it too long and he doesn't say anything to me. It's more so my teammates. He just look at me and be like, okay, figure it out. And he knows that I don't like to be comfortable, so he doesn't try to comfort me in those moments. And I stand up to it, my teammates helped me get through it. Nika said something to me that I can't repeat, but, that kind of helped me like, okay, this is my leader as well. And for her to say what she said to me, it made me like, okay, let me get out of my funk and run my team. And that's what I did.
So you guys, we're talking about things and how, when you guys had like 1,400 US students here today, and I'm guessing some of them like probably never read it before, and you guys went on to quite a show.
That was pretty funny.
Do you guys think about that ever? Like, kind of like winning over people, like when you play games like this?
I mean, yeah, it's always fun to, have people come into the Staples that probably never watched the Sparks play. You know what I mean? They've probably been to Staples, but never to watch our game. So to have those individuals come in and see a dogfight like we had today, I mean, I hope, that we won them over. And if you like basketball, and not because it's just women's sports, but you like the game, how we play the game, it's just, just going out there and playing and having respect for, being in them 4 lines. So I hope we won them over. Shout out to USC. It makes sense. I saw all them like hoodies and everything, and I'm like, is everybody from USC? But yeah.
But man, it's credit to the fans in general, because we in LA, Hollywood, you can be anywhere in the world, like anywhere in LA. There's so much to do every day, Monday through Sunday. So to be able to come to the Staples and watch us, like credit to our fans, like that's major for us, because you know how this women game is, man. So for them to sit here and support us and give us that 6-man energy, we definitely appreciate that.
Bro, they was cheering while you shooting a free throw.
Yeah, I know.
That threw me off.
It's all right. It's all right. I locked in though.
I was like, please make these hits. I'm like, we will win.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys. I was like, yeah.